Welcome! I'm John O'Grady from DLOConsultants, and this is the introductory module for our training course on how to use DLOCLeAPS, designed to help our lead appraiser prepare and conduct a CMMI appraisal. DLOConsultants, as you know, is making our lead appraiser tool suite for CMMI dev called DLOCLeAPS available to lead appraisers who are working on appraisals with DLOConsultants, and so we've assembled the following training course. The tool is a Microsoft Office integration project. The Appraisal Master Workbook is an Excel workbook, but the support suite also uses Microsoft Word and Microsoft PowerPoint, so you'll have to have Microsoft Office on your PC. But we've observed that a few other CMMI lead appraisers already use Excel workbooks to record and track appraisals, so it likely won't be that much of a stretch to use DLOCLeAPS if it can be of help to you. The DLOCLeAPS Appraisal Master Workbook helps you automatically assemble the mini-team workbooks. It creates mini-team workbooks ready for distribution to your mini-teams, providing each mini-team with a workbook that includes only their assigned PAs and only their assigned BUs and SGs. Based on your mapping of PAs to BUs and SGs and the mini-team assignments you establish in the Master Workbook's mini-team management panel. When the mini-teams have completed their review, the DLOCLeAPS Master Workbook helps you automatically import the mini-team findings to the Master Workbook at the click of a button, including all the annotations the mini-teams made in their workbooks. It helps you automatically create an outline to upload to PowerPoint for the preliminary and final outbriefs, based on the OU findings and characterizations in the Master Workbook's process area worksheets, also at the click of a button. With the addition of the DLOCLeAPS Appraisal Plan template, you can automatically create a robust initial draft of your appraisal plan, based on the details about the customer, the lead appraiser, the appraisal team members, and other information you've entered through the Master Workbook's appraisal detail panels. And with the addition of the DLOCLeAPS Appraisal Briefing Presentation templates, you can automatically create a robust initial draft of the kickoff presentation, the preliminary findings presentation, and the final findings presentation. Again, based on the appraisal details you've entered in the appraisal details panels of the Master Workbook. DLOCLeAPS is driven from its main control panel and subsidiary panels. The main control panel is laid out according to the general flow of a DLOC appraisal, essentially in the order we expect you might conduct the work. In subsequent modules, we'll elaborate on the use of the individual procedures reflected in the main control panel and its subsidiary panels. At a high level, the control panel reflects some salient phases in the appraisal process, including establishing the appraisal scope in terms of the process areas to be reviewed or not reviewed, and the basic units and support groups to be reviewed in assessment of performance in those process areas. The formation of mini-teams, the assignment of particular PAs to those mini-teams, and identification of the basic units and support groups that the mini-teams will review in support of the assessment for a process area. The appraisal data collection activities of the mini-teams and their consolidation for review and assessment by the appraisal team as a whole. The reconciliation and consensus activities, and the outbriefing. The currently available training modules include setting the appraisal scope, establishing the relevant process areas and the basic units and support groups, the mini-team management panel, including establishing the mini-teams and mapping the PAs to the BUs and SGs, as well as mapping the PAs to the mini-teams, the mini-team workbooks, including creating the workbooks, collecting the completed workbooks from the mini-teams, and importing the mini-team inputs to the Master Workbook, and the interview questions panel, where you can develop, consolidate, and manage questions for the appraisal interviews. In upcoming training modules, we'll discuss the process area worksheets, the appraisal details panels, the appraisal plan support panel, and the appraisal briefing support panel. Now let's get started. After you've downloaded the DLOCLeApS directory, click the DLOCLeApS shortcut. You may be presented with an intermediary dialog box or Excel file requesting that you enable macros. If you do, please enable the macros. When your new appraisal workbook has opened, it will be provisionally named with the DLOCLeApS format customer name appraisal workbook date 0000. The date will be the current date, and the -0000 is provided for versioning and revisioning. For example, customer name appraisal workbook 2013 0802 0000. DLOCLeApS will advise you to save it with a new name. DLOCLeApS will open a Windows Explorer file browser that will allow you to place the file in the directory of your choice and save the workbook with the name of your choice. If you follow the DLOCLeApS paradigm, all you'll have to do to the file name is replace customer name with the actual name of your customer, presumably the customer short name, but you can name it whatever you like, as long as it conforms to your operating system's standard file naming requirements. Use the DLOCLeApS training course playlist for optimal access to the tutorial, including our future updates at the address you see here.